guys have Minnesota sports flowing in their veins. Mackey and Judd on Score North and ScoreNorth.com.
Little statements edition of the OG Score North podcast, Mackey and Judd. My first statement for you guys here in a second is about the backlash for a classic brand sequel that came out. Crazy backlash. But last night, or was it 2 nights ago? It might have been, I think it was Sunday. We went to the old grocery store, and right before the checkout aisle, there's like a frozen aisle. And my wife turns to me and says, "You want to grab one of those Green Mill pizzas? Why don't you go peek your head in the freezer section?" I was like, oh. So we did. It was just a glorious box. It was like there was a light shining on it and everything. You could hear the Pizza Angels singing of Green Mill Tavern-style pizza. The hand-tossed pepperoni was our go-to choice there. But yeah, so Pep's Pizza, we've been talking about their legit pizza for months, but there's another incredible frozen pizza. It's that Green Mill Restaurant pizza, that iconic Green Mill Restaurant brand, available in your grocery store freezer section. There's also Green Mill soft breadsticks and sauces as well. Learn more at greenmillfoods.com. Also, the Twins might have some new faces you can go watch at Target Field soon here. Trade deadline week, Dex. It's still a cool ballpark, even if the Twins aren't really contending.
That's right. Twins.com. Go to twins.com to see the tickets that are available. We got the 612 Saturdays, which are good $6 food, $6 drinks, $1 food, $2 apps. So plenty of great stuff there. Go to twins.com to secure those tickets and see some fresh faces or returning faces from the minor leagues. Never know what you're going to get.
All right. Statement number one here. We'll go around the room a time or two. People ripping Happy Gilmore 2 are morons.
Mm-hmm.
And Judd, I know you haven't seen the sequel yet, right?
Correct. I have not watched it yet.
Have you seen the original?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I think I saw it in the theater.
Okay. 1996.
Yeah.
I've seen so many, almost high-level critiques of, it's just, it's a bunch of cameos and sophomoric. It's like, have you ever seen an Adam Sandler movie? A.
Yeah.
B, it's almost like people thought to themselves, I've been waiting 30 years for a Happy Gilmore sequel, and I'm going to sit down, and this is going to be the greatest 2 hours of cinema and comedy that I have ever experienced. And anything less than the greatest 2 hours of comedy and cinema that I've ever experienced is a failure, and I'm going to take to the internet and Twitter and Instagram, and I'm going to complain about it. I was going through, then the algorithm started serving me people bitching about this movie. We laughed 100 times. I don't know. We thought it was funny. Is it as good as the first one? Probably not. I don't know how it could be. That's an all-time classic. It's like a generational. If you were to pick the best sophomore comedies of every single decade, like Happy Gilmore's in there in the mix for the 90s. Mm-hmm. But it's too wacky and random. There's just too many. First of all, that's literally every single Adam Sandler movie is just kind of wacky and random. But then we watched the first one again last night in the Mackey household. A, because it was on MTV, and B, because I wanted to compare it before I spouted off on the podcast today. The original movie, if you remember, literally had a fist fight between Happy Gilmore and Bob Barker, a CBS TV tower fall in the middle of the 18th green of the Tour Championship, and it was determined that Happy must play the ball as it lies. A giant with a nail in his head harassing PGA pros. Like, what are we doing here? The plot was I didn't like the idea of the evil new golf league trying to upend regular golf. Well, that's literally what's happening in real life right now with Live Golf. They were mocking Live Golf basically in a satirical way. So I don't know. I feel like people just have to bitch and complain about things.
Yeah.
And it's all subjective because it's entertainment and it's a movie. But I was shocked by the amount of people that were like, "Oh, Happy Gilmore 2, just a terrible, terrible movie and plot." And I don't know. What do you guys think?
I loved it. I thought it was great. And yeah, I knew exactly what I was expecting going in. I actually think I was more impressed with how well the actual guys in the PGA Tour did in this film, because that's
It was
tough.
great. The Scotty, not to spoil here, but there was some Scotty Scheffler.
The Scotty Scheffler stuff was awesome.
He was willing to make
Zalatoris-
fun of himself for getting arrested. Like there were
Yeah.
Scotty jail scenes were great.
Zalatoris was phenomenal. If you're a wrestling fan, you got MJF is his oldest son, which is great. Becky Lynch has an appearance. Both of his real life daughters are in the film, one being a little bit more prominent than the other. So I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah, like, did we expect a Scorsese type film here? I don't know what your expectations were. It's an Adam Sandler. There's like two serious, at least that I can think of, Adam Sandler films that actually aren't funny and they're not satirical. It's Uncut Gems, which I guess maybe there's some funny moments, but it's mostly a serious film. And Reign Over Me with him and Don Cheadle, where he literally plays a guy whose family was killed in 9/11. That's the two Adam Sandler films where he's not being a goofball and getting hammered with John Daly in his house.
Be sure to feed John Daly 3 times a day, right?
Oh, and I love that. And again, John Daly just leaning into being John Daly. So what was the expectations? I thought it was good. We watched it over 2 nights. We watched it first half Friday night. We were fading by the end of it. So then classic us in our 30s, too late, 10:45, 11 o'clock. Gotta go to sleep now. And we finished it on Sunday. I thought it was awesome. Great film.
Don't you guys think if Twitter had been around in the 90s, I think Sandler films would have gotten crucified initially too, like this, because people are always going to bitch about it. Like, it's not the majority. I mean, Twitter is an incredibly vocal cesspoolian, which is why I love it, minority, I think. So, I think if you, in 1996, if you had gone to see Happy Gilmore, the original, I think a lot of people, or I think a faction of folks would have been like, this was crazy. That tower falling made no sense. I just think Twitter opens up, and social does as a whole, it just opens up a hatch for a very vocal minority to bitch about everything.
Yeah, and also a lot of the people that are bitching about the movie now are in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, and they were 10, 15, or 23 years old when the original one came out, and maybe they're not accounting for it's the same style of comedy. And this was another complaint I saw. Well, they're just repeating a lot of the same jokes. No, they're calling back nostalgically to some of the jokes from the first movie just to get the nostalgic laugh again, which is what you do in a comedy sequel. You call it back.
Well, and plus, it's a Netflix movie too. It's not like you had to pay to go.
You didn't drive.
Pay
you didn't
$15 to go to the theater. I know you get Netflix, but my God, there's plenty available if you don't like Sandler. So it's not like they got you to go to the theater and charged you $14 and $15 for a thing of popcorn, and now you've got ripped off. So I just think people like to bitch, and people have always liked to bitch. There was just never a platform to do it so easily.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Also, I think if you were to sit down, and for people who haven't seen it yet, if you sit down for 2 hours or an hour and 45 minutes and you laugh a few times and you're hanging out with your family or your spouse and you got a cocktail and maybe a dinner or something, cool. That's what the movie's not pretending to be something above and beyond. We're going to make you laugh a little bit for 2 hours. Right. So I know it's almost like people created this crazy false expectation. It actually makes me want to see more sequels of Adam Sandler movies from the 90s and early 2000s.
And callbacks are the best. I love callbacks.
Yeah.
I think callbacks are so much fun. And I don't care if people like them or don't get them or don't like them. I think callbacks to me are they are such a great recognition of this is what the fan base wants. And so this is what they're going to get. There's nothing worse than a guy that ages out and then tries to recreate the art.
Yeah.
Just do what you're good at.
Just keep hammering it. And also he continues, he's loaded at this point. He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars or whatever. And he just keeps bringing back his old friends from 30 years ago.
Good.
His family, his friends, getting him paychecks. Shooter McGavin continues to be just one of the iconic
Ben Stiller comes back, right?
Sports villains.
Ben Stiller.
Yeah, not to spoil for people who haven't seen it, but Ben Stiller in the first one, through the guise of this old folks home, was running a sweatshop where he was making them knit
Yes.
blankets and different things, and then selling them on the market.
Well, now your back's gonna hurt.
You just
bought
pulled
yourself
landscaping duty. Let's just say that Ben Stiller has found a new way to run an under the table business.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the sequel.
Ben Stiller in the 90s. Oh my God.
Just
So
classic, man.
Just so good.
So just people ripping Happy Gilmore to just find a way to be happy. Find a way to be happy.
Go to your happy place.
Go to your happy place.
Go to your happy place.
Yep. So I've got a question. So I was at the Twins game with Dex on Sunday, and before the game, on the scoreboard, they're showing what the promotion is, which they have a ton of promotions. I don't blame them one bit. They should have promotions. But here's my question. It was back to school day, and they were giving away a backpack. Now, it's July 27th, okay?
Yep.
And if you're a kid, to me, that's traumatic.
It's terrifying.
It's still traumatic.
Yeah, but I mean, you have a month left, and I get why Target does this in their stores, because it's just like Christmas starts on November 15th now. But to me, it felt like the Twins were trolling, if not torturing, children who were like, "Oh, I got a backpack. Why? Because it's back to school." Am I wrong in saying that nothing like that should be done until at some point in August, preferably mid-August?
100% agree. Kind of feels like the marketing department was trying to piece together the convenient dates for themselves to do this promotion, not thinking about the traumatized 8-year-olds that are going to a Twins game in the middle of their summer vacation, a month until school starts, which is an eternity for summer vacation, right? It's not even August yet. Once the state fair rolls around as a kid, okay, kind of feels like school's coming up here, right?
Yep.
So I'm with you, man. We're scaring the kids.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just looking right now. Okay, so they have home weekend series, which, by the way, twins.com/tickets.
Yeah.
They have home weekend series against the Royals on the 8th, the Tigers on the 15th. They're actually gone for the majority of the state fair. They wrap up a series against the Athletics when the fair opens on the 21st. They are then on the road until the next weekend, the Labor Day weekend, against the Padres. And you can totally squeeze in a back-to-school promotion day
or
on
not.
Any of those other ones. Or not. Or not.
And I'm not saying, and just to be clear here, I'm not solely picking on the Twins. And again, I get why a Target puts stuff out, okay? But it's my opinion that if you don't absolutely have to do back to school stuff, you should push it out as far as possible. Yes. I just don't think, parents, I don't know, they probably don't care because it's a place where their kids go that's basically daycare. But the reality is, if I'm a kid, I remember hating that. And it's like Phil said, when you're a kid, you're like, I got August left. And I agree with you. You don't think about it till the state fair. And now I walk into a baseball game, which should be my happy place. Should be a
safe place.
And I'm being slapped in the face with school.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, also back to school thing should be closed circuit to just parents. Mm-hmm. Like there's no context in which a kid gets excited for any type of back to school reference or sale. Like, can you ever remember as a kid being like, "Oh, we got to hit the back to school sale at Target this week"?
I will say the only thing that somewhat excited me, or that I was okay with doing, was your new pair of shoes. Like I loved getting a new pair of shoes as a kid. Actually, I still like getting shoes.
But did you think of it as like a back to school new pair of shoes, or it's just like I'm getting a new pair of shoes in August? No.
I was thinking that they're my back to school shoes, and literally I wouldn't get them until much deeper into the August calendar, and legitimately, I'm not putting those shoes on until the first day of school. So yes, I did get excited for only shoes though. Only shoes.
No, count me out of everything,
dude. You got a nice new pair of shoes. You're making a good impression. It's very important.
Sneaks.
Yep. Very important.
No, you
didn't want new shoes, or
no? I just didn't when we went to get the back to school outfits. It was just like a nail into my heart.
The worst is when you would get your schedule, like your classes. That was when you was like, oh God, this is real.
It made it real.
I got to start the day with Spanish. I can barely speak English. This is going to be awful.
That's when you got to look at your schedule and switch out of classes. That's when you got to switch classes quickly.
Oh, God.
Like French too. I'm like, I'm going to fail. I'm going to pottery.
French too. I don't know, English 1. What am I
I
going to
got
do
through
here?
French 1. I don't know how I did it, but the second year, I'm like, I am outclassed.
Why do
here.
people take French? Like I took Spanish functionally
I
because
should
I
have taken
thought
Spanish.
there's a chance I'm like
Right.
I know we're gonna go on some spring break trips at the very least where it might come in handy.
You're correct.
Unless you're planning on like going to France.
Nope, you were right.
You might. I don't know. My sister majored in French. That was her major in
And
college.
It
is she
seemed cool.
making a living like doing something with it?
She did it at first. Yeah, she actually went back to school and became a PA like later in life.
There you go.
So I mean, yeah, still a completely different career change. But she lived in France actually worked for a Glenn Taylor company. Doesn't exist anymore.
Okay.
in
again,
Paris?
that you agree with me then. Unless you specifically plan on moving to France, you're probably not going to use
you know what?
your.
I think that schools should be. I think schools should be aware too. If you have a kid that knows what he or she wants, like I knew in third grade. You know what? Working in sports media is what I want.
Yeah.
And I was not good in science. So what the hell was I doing in a science class? Now at Benilde, fortunately at that time, I think you only needed 2 years of science, not like 4 years.
Only needed 3.
But I'm just saying I would have much preferred to like set my, hey, you know what? I'm going to take some writing classes. Best class I took at Benilde was typing. But I knew what I wanted. So like I wasn't going to go
Was
to
that
a
computer
science
typing or was that like typewriter typing?
typewriter typing at the time. Now we did have early computer classes on like Apple IIe's and stuff, which it didn't help me. But I mean, literally learning how to type so that I don't hunt and peck was huge. But
Chipper?
Chip Scoggins.
Chip Scoggins.
or Patrick
Dave Campbell.
or Patrick. But for those kids that say, you know what, teach, I know what I want to do. You know, you ain't going to get me into I'm not going to dissect a pig, which I did, and think, you know what? Screw sports. Here's what I want. Anatomy.
Like you guys dissected like a full-size pig?
Well, not like a big pig, but a small pig. Yes.
We did like sharks.
Frogs. Sharks?
We did like tiny little tiny little sharks.
Oh, interesting. No,
Pretty sure there were sharks.
we did pigs that had been what's the stuff? Formaldehyde. So
Yeah.
like the pigs, and like we would get done with class and then go back the next day and get our pig, but it wasn't going to help. Like what was I going to do? Like this pig should have had Tommy John. You know what I want to do? I want to be Dr. Frank Joe.
What if that was it? Instead of dissecting the pig the way that the science class curriculum would suggest, they handed you the little knife and said, you get to cut into the pig's elbow and look for its ulnar collateral.
Next, it's the
ligament.
ACL. This pig tore its ACL and MCL, teach. I'm going to repair them. Yeah, but anyway.
Ooh, that looks like an Achilles.
Let's
on
stop with the
that.
school stuff in late July, please.
It's funny what you remember from early classes and how outdated it seems now. I mean, Judd's the oldest of all of us, but we took it starting in 5th grade. We took the typing classes, like computer typing classes. And then I think it was like the next year's either 6th or 7th grade, and there was like an internet exploratory class. Because this would have been, for me, it would have been like 1996 or 1997 when internet browsing was a thing. But it wasn't like now, if you open up your computer, your Gmail, social media sites, right? Very rarely are you, unless I'm on a different planet, are you going to like specific websites as much anymore, branded websites. But I remember when they gave us like free reign to just explore, go to different brands that you like in their sites. So go like Nike.com, or you go to
My dad goes to this one.
my dad goes to. Actually, there was one that they told us about that. It sounds like a very presidential website, but actually there's an adult company that owns that. So
And you're like,
yeah, it's blocked. But yeah, man, primitive. And then AOL Instant Messenger, you log on at
see,
night,
AIM.
do your thing.
our computer classes were like at the start, right? So like we had nothing. There was nothing online at the time. There was no like we literally would do the stuff where it was like programming, which I found to be boring as hell. But it's like, here's how you save a program and here's how you write a program. It's like, I know.
Those little discs that you threw in.
The floppy disks. Again,
Floppy
I won't
disks.
be doing this. No, thank you. At least you guys had sites to go to.
Yeah, I mean, kind of, I guess. Before we get to some more statements here on Mackey and Judd, here's a statement. If you need help with your air conditioner this time of year, MSP Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning is the best place to check out.
Most definitely. We're going to get a little bit of a reprieve here, so it's a perfect time to call MSP and get them out. Also, if you're thinking about going ductless, call them. They're a Mitsubishi Elite Diamond contractor for ductless. If you have an older home with no ductwork, I'm going to tell you right now, my friends at MSP, they don't care about that because they can still install it. It'll be outstanding. They specialize in smart and efficient ductless installs. They are aware that that those systems aren't cheap, so they're going to help you get it done and get it done right, quiet, efficient, comfort where you need that comfort. MSP's been serving the Twin Cities for more than 100 years. Check them out, 651-615-4292, or go to their website, call MSP.com, call MSP.com, MSP Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Shout out to Federated Insurance here too. So Federated has been around for over 100 years, helping businesses, mostly small and medium-sized businesses, with risk management plans. So business owners out there, you understand that protecting your company's reputation, financial assets, the physical workplace, your employees, all very important, and things that you might want some experienced help putting together a plan for. And that's where Federated comes in. Industries like if your company is in retail or wholesale, manufacturing companies, auto services, so think repair shops, you got a tire dealership, mechanics. You can find a full list of industries Federated supports at federatedinsurance.com, where it's our business to protect yours. Dex?
So my statement is I don't love recycled material. So I went and saw Nate Bargatze over the weekend. Great comedian. I've been dying to see him for a long time. Okay? And he is a very unique comedian where in the age of most comedians swearing and sex jokes and being vulgar, he does an incredible job of keeping a very PG show and does not go down that road. And I'm fine with that. It's funny. He's a hilarious dude.
Yeah.
But he spent and he was on, so he had a couple openers. He took the stage at about 8:15. I think he was off by 9. So like probably just about an hour set, maybe even a little less. I thought it flew by, so I think it was no more than an hour. And he probably spent 15 minutes of it repeating the DoorDash delivery joke that I've heard for like over a year at this point. Now, I think the problem is when you are I don't want to use PG comic, but like when you cater to an audience, because I'll be honest, my wife and I were probably on the younger side of the average person at that show because he is very specific with his audience. I didn't enjoy that for 15 minutes, so 15 to 20% of the show was spent hearing the same DoorDash delivery joke that I've seen make the rounds on other specials, on other TikTok things he's done, and I was just like, come on, man. Like, I know you get to repeat that stuff because maybe some of the older audience isn't on social media as much, but I was a little annoyed. But outside of that, great show. He had some awesome jokes. I was laughing my ass off. My nitpick. If I was being the Star Tribune, I would have included that in my nitpick.
I'm going to defend him a little because I think if you're a touring comedian and have a Netflix special and have a big social media following, it's hard to, and it's also hard to just be pumping out hours and hours of great high-level material that you can. It's not like us three idiots where we'll talk about the Vikings for an hour here and or we'll like react to training camp or something. Like those dudes are the best comedians. This happened. We went and saw I think it was Chelsea Handler went through somewhere maybe when we lived in Washington, or she opened for someone. I can't remember what it was. We remember thinking, oh, like this is every joke she's told on every platform for 2 years. And I think you get it. Like if you go to a Jim Gaffigan, we went to a Jim Gaffigan show one time and it was like, pretty sure he's just doing his Netflix special right now. And it's still funny, but yeah, when millions of people watch your Netflix special, do you then go on tour and do like half of what you did on your Netflix special? But you also, the pressure to like write all this new material is
It's hard.
It'd be really hard if you're a comedian.
I'm not denying that. I've seen Dave Chappelle numerous times. I've seen him probably 3 or 4 times at this point, and he does longer sets. He's out there for a long time. And I have seen some of those jokes that I've seen live then make it into the Netflix special. So like, I get that. I just I wanted a little bit more. I don't know. I know it's difficult. It's hard to do when you're, and I think he's gonna like stop doing comedy for a little. He makes it to pursue movies. I think after this tour he's on, and he did 2 nights too. So he did Saturday night. I saw the first night, and then he remained at XL and did a second night on Sunday. And he was funny. I liked it. I'm glad I saw him.
What tickets cost?
Tickets didn't cost me a dime.
Dex got the company tickets.
Got the company.
Oh,
tickets.
nice.
Yeah.
That's right. So Dex is complaining about a
free
So you
tickets.
saw this for free, and you're
Yeah,
complaining about Bargetski.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say, yeah, we paid $100 a piece. I was going to
No,
say
no,
you deserve
No,
it.
would've been a
Dex
lot
is
more
definitely
upset.
complaining about a free comedy show right now for him.
Wow.
Shout out to
Okay.
Jesse Rachel
Awfully
Chaos.
privileged.
I guess I guess I sort of just called you out there without knowing I was calling you out.
That's okay. That's all right. That's
You know what?
all
I
right.
didn't like that Twins game where I sat right behind the dugout. How much did you pay? Nothing. I got the Hubbard tickets.
Where I ate the free trail mix all night, stuffed myself.
It's terrible. I got sick.
Give me my money back. Wait. Mackey and Judd, the OG podcast here on Score North. Write that down. Predictions tomorrow. See ya.